Your first relationship after a toxic, unhealthy relationship will actually be really testing. Why is it going to be testing? Because it's going to test whether you have had the ability to heal within. Now, when I go into this talking about healing within, after an unhealthy relationship, we need to actually start to self-evaluate, learn how to self-regulate, how to recognize our own body's intuition, emotions, and what that meant. Why did we stay in this unhealthy relationship? What things did we need to work through, whether it was fears of abandonment, whether it was learning to recognize someone out of integrity, also understanding what we need in a healthy relationship. Did we learn what that diversity was? Those things that are really important to us to create that next healthy relationship. So going within after a relationship is actually the piece that we need, firstly. Then, as we enter into a new relationship, our subconscious is going to have fears. It's going to have fears around safety. It's going to have fears around trust. It's going to have fears that this person may not be able to support you because in that previous relationship, it was unlikely that you felt safe, trusted, and supported. So as we enter into this relationship, we have needed to learn skills within ourselves. One, to self-regulate, to self-manage, to bring ourselves back into our parasympathetic nervous system because the subconscious is triggering the sympathetic nervous system. We need to be able to self-regulate, recognize the things that are existing within us, our emotions, our feelings, those intuitions that are telling us something is off or actually maybe this is okay. Maybe we have fears around being vulnerable because in the previous relationship, we were over-emotional because we weren't supported. And that is quite normal for women or a lot of people in a situation where we didn't get supported, where we weren't feeling safe, right? We get consumed in head chaos and stories, and we have a lot of triggers and a lot of responses that sometimes are uncontrollable because they're in the sympathetic nervous system. So learning this part about yourself means that now you can regulate that and you can start to learn to communicate. What do I need in this relationship? Starting to have those open and honest conversations, right? So you can start to break the pattern of feeling like maybe you're too much. Maybe I can't be open enough. Maybe I won't be supported and trusted. And if you start to be able to speak from a place that you're actually in your parasympathetic nervous system, in a calm and regulated state, being able to express what you need, what your fears are, what your experience has been before, you're going to actually establish whether this person is actually aligned. Are they going to be able to support you? Are they going to show up? Are they going to care? Do they have compassion? Right? All those things are what starts to create the feeling of being safe in that relationship. Now, learning to listen to our intuition is extremely important because the intuition itself will actually trigger our sympathetic nervous system if we are not listening. It will create a lot of chaos, not meaning that it is doing the chaos, but it is trying to make us witness and feel and respond to what it's guiding us. Something feels off. What is off? Are we actually listening to those things? Because so often we can recognize something feels off. Maybe we spoke to the person previously and they told us this story that was appeasing, that made us think, okay, well, maybe it's us. Maybe this is my mind. Maybe this is not really what I'm feeling. And usually later you start to actually realize that you were right, that those things that you were actually intuitively picking up on, you weren't trusting, and you were actually seeking somebody else's validation or getting caught in stories, and therefore trusting in somebody else's word over your own heart's guidance. So this is really important. How much can you learn to trust your own intuition? How much can you learn to trust your own self? How much can you be vulnerable and open to expressing and creating a healthy connection with somebody? When we start to get or create a healthy connection, this relationship will start to alchemize those fears in the subconscious. We will start to gain this strength within us, this power that actually allows us to recognize, oh my gosh, we have got this gift to be able to trust in ourselves and to be supported, to have someone that cares about us, that we are honoring ourselves through our own intuition, through our own feelings, through our own vulnerability, that somebody is actually meeting you at a beautiful place. And that means that in those next relationships moving forward, you will actually have had this foundation of knowing what it feels like to be safe in a relationship. But the first thing before you can actually feel safe in a relationship was doing the healing. How do I feel safe within myself? To recognize what it feels like to feel good within you. If you don't know what it feels like to feel good within you, you're not going to recognize when a relationship actually doesn't feel safe, where it doesn't feel good, doesn't feel honoring, they are not in integrity. Or you're going to be able to recognize when they are super supportive, super caring, they're adding to you, they're actually giving you confidence, they are actually inspiring you and loving you for all of you, even when there has been moments of fear. Because understanding that fear is actually quite natural to a human response, a human life. We have a sympathetic nervous system, and it is going to trigger us, especially if we've been wounded before. But we can heal that. But the first step is coming within. It's not up to that person to heal you, but that experience with a healthy relationship will actually help you cement the work you have done previously. So learning to trust yourself is the foundation of everything. Learning to trust you can recognize what is it I need? What is it that is healthy in a relationship? What is it that feels safe? So therefore you can completely recognize when something isn't safe, when something feels off, and learn to trust you over somebody else who could be healthy or unhealthy. And this is the beautiful path of learning to heal from an unhealthy relationship. Your potential to move forward and evolve and change those patterns comes from recognizing, how did I get in that pattern in the first place? And then learning to move through the human response of the nervous system and the subconscious and those emotions and feelings and stress and fears that were created from the unhealthy experience, and then not allowing that pattern to continue to repeat. You have that power within you. You really can. So dive in, do the healing work, learn, go in and ask yourself those questions. Get that understanding. Be your own best friend first, so you can trust in you that you can create a healthy relationship with somebody in the future, or recognize when they're not healthy. Anyway, love and light from Kelly at Energetically Inspired.